Well, good afternoon, family. It's a joy once again to be in this platform to share with us a few thoughts that I believe are necessary and important to keep us navigating through in this particular season in time. There are many things that are going on in the minds of many people and many questions coming up and being asked about the times we are in and the perilous times, the difficult times. The COVID-19 pandemic has resulted to people speculating and questioning many things, most of which are theological questions. And one of the questions is, does God determine a time when it will be difficult for people to live in? Does God predetermine a particular epoch of time where the season will be perilous and difficult and hard to bear? I don't think so. In 2 Timothy chapter number 3, verse 1 going down, it says, "But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come." Now God, Paul is talking to Timothy by the Spirit, so God gives us his word and telling us that in the last days perilous times will come. The word perilous is the Greek word kalephos, which means dangerous. It means reducing strength. It means fierce, hard to approach, hard to bear, troublesome. So times that will be sapping strength out of man, times that will be difficult, times that will be fierce, dangerous times will come in the last days. Now, does it mean that God therefore predetermined and determined a particular time when you and I will be living in such a time as this and decided that's when times will be difficult? Not so. Pick it up from verse 1 again and read through into verse 2. It says, "But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying its power. It says, from such turn away." Now, there's a very important word that links the two, the perilous times and the state of men. He says perilous times will come in the last days. Why? For men will be. Because the word "for" is the thing that unlocks the whole thing. It says because, for men will be. So it is the state of man that determines the condition of the time. Whether time will be good times or perilous or difficult, hard to bear, draining and sapping strength is not determined by God but by man. You see, when we escalate corruption to new levels altogether, when the wickedness increases in man, when, like it says here, men are brutal, men have no self-control, men are selfish, men are boasters, men are lovers of money, men are headstrong, and watch this, men despise what is good. Now, what do you expect to find in such an environment? It's going to be very difficult to live in such an environment, and doesn't make any better. It says in verse 13, "But evil men and impostors will grow worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived." It's clear. So if evil men will increase, that means evil will increase, wickedness will increase. It means what? There are more difficult times ahead. In fact, we better brace ourselves for more tough times ahead than we have right now. It says people are lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. They are blasphemers. You know, when a society is despising God, a society is void of God, what do you expect in that society? Times become unbearable for men therein. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take note of this. It is not God who determines and says a particular time, that time will be very difficult for man to live in. No. God is a father, he's a good father, he's a loving God, and has given man, the free will to choose whether to walk in the light or in darkness. And if man chooses to walk in iniquity, then the environment that man lives in becomes hostile for him. So man makes the environment hostile for himself. And this is exactly what we are in right now. But Paul then comes and exhorts Timothy and tells Timothy, when times are like that, how do you navigate those moments, Timothy, my son? It says, but you must continue in the things which you have learned. That's the antidote. That's how you navigate these perilous times. That's how you navigate these hard times. That's how you navigate these energy draining moments, by continuing in that which you have learned. The grace, the strength, the energy, the stamina that you need to withstand and to continue in these times is in that which you have already learned. Grace is packaged in the word you have heard. Grace is contained. Strength, divine strength is contained in that which you have already heard. Divine immunity is contained in that which you have already heard. And divine wisdom is contained in that which you have already heard. And so it tells Timothy, for you to unlock the strength, the grace, the wisdom, the power that you need to live in those times, continue in the things that you have heard. And I come to exhort you this afternoon, beloved, continue in what you have already learned, in the things that you have learned. Don't despise the truth you've learned. This is a time now to go back to all that you have learned. Go back to your notebooks. Read those things again. Take that CD. Listen to that word again. Every information, every word of God that has been spoken to you by credible, reliable, God-authenticated ministers. Anything that has been spoken to you by credible voices, authentic voice, a voice from heaven, that this is the time now to relook at it and continue in it. You can afford to draw back at this moment. And so I pray that the Lord will give you the strength and the courage to stand on that which you have already heard. It's time to lay hold of the word and live by the same. That's how we navigate these perilous times. So yes, times are difficult, but you know what? You won't change that. We can't change times. We can't change the hard times. We can't change how things are. But thank God, we can draw strength, wisdom, and stamina and energy to navigate through these times by continuing in the word that we have already heard and learned. And so I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and give you an inheritance among all those who are sanctified. Till next time, the Lord keep you and watch over you. Thank you for tuning in. And until we meet here again, keep walking in that which you have already learned.